What's up, everybody? It is Dankamyouknow, and I am back with another video. And I have once again changed the fan configuration in my Omen 25L. So let's get into the video and what I changed this time. First of all, I just want to say thank you for all the support recently. I've just hit 300 subscribers, and I wanted to say thank you. Whether it be interacting with YouTube comments, liking or disliking, and especially to our HP Omen users Discord group. We've had a lot of people join lately, and we've had a lot of good conversations and questions. So I just want to say thank you for all of the support. So what I did this time around is the original 120mm Noctua fan that I had, it was at the bottom of the case, and I wanted to have all matching black fans. I think it seems to go with the theme of my PC a little bit more. So I went ahead and installed those in, and they are the Chromax by Noctua. And then I wanted to repurpose my original HP rear fan, and I wanted to mount it to the front so it was blowing towards the CPU cooler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to time lapse the installs of the fans, and then I might throw some commentary over it. So let's go ahead and let's get into that. So I'm going to start with removing all of the fans from the PC and start with the top and removing it from its bracket. And now the rear fan and the Chromax by Noctua fans, they come with anti-vibration pads, so I'm just installing those on each of the corners on each side of the fan. And then I'm removing the one screw that holds on the back panel. And I blew some compressed air in to get rid of some dust, and I took out the top hard drive because I'm going to put it in the lower. And now I'm just doing some cable management to see how much room I have to put all of my Y-splits and cables in the back. I was mocking up the rear exhaust fan towards the front, the original HP one. And now I'm going to go ahead and start installing all the fans and getting all my cables set up. Here's how it's looking now. I've got the bottom fan tucked in there, and you can see it's basically just tucked between this wire clip and the power supply. And even when I grab it, it does not move. Like, it is staying in place. So I think I'm just going to keep it as is. I don't think I'm going to use any adhesive unless it maybe starts to cause noise, but I've been running it for like 2 weeks and I haven't heard anything. So I'm just going to keep it like that. And then here is the back fan, and you can see that I've got the cable for it going through this little access port back here. And then now what I'm going to run is a Y-split with the top mount fan. And the top mount fan is being routed up here. And then if we come around to the back, you can see that I kind of try to do some cable management, and these are just going to sit behind the back of the case like that. Hopefully they'll fit. We're about to find out. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fit the stock Omen fan that was in the rear. I believe there is a perfect little wedge right here, and I'm going to use some double-sided tape, and I am going to stick this right here. Actually, it's going to be opposite, since set up like that is an exhaust, so it's going to be blowing right towards the CPU, and then out the back, and then up through the top. So there is the stock Omen fan mounted in, and I've got some double-sided tape that is now holding it in, and I use some pretty strong stuff. It is Gorilla double-sided tape, so when I go to remove it, it's probably going to be kind of difficult, but I really didn't want it to move, And if you can see, kind of doing a little test with my hand, it is not moving. And there's basically only adhesive right here, you know, through the whole top parts. And you can see it is not moving. I'm going to boot the computer and just make sure it's not making any noise. I doubt it will, but we'll do a little test. And because I've got this also Y-split, got the cables back here, I was able to have this fan facing towards the front, so the logo's facing me, which my OCD is happy with. And you can see the cable right here. I'm trying to figure out how I want to clean this up because it's just kind of dangling. I mean, it looks fine as is, but... And then I want to make sure the side panel will go on with this right here. Or I may just turn it to the side because the cable is going to be positioned back there, which may make it a little bit nicer and you won't be able to see the cables. So yeah, but that is my new fan update. So I'm going to get her put all back together. And you can also see that I moved the hard drive to the lower cage just to see what happens. And that way maybe some airflow will travel in here and then through this fan and then out here. Hopefully this fan will push some of it up towards that way. Maybe keep my hard drive a little bit cooler as well. But yeah, let's get it back together and see how I did. So the computer booted up with no problems. All fans are spinning at the speeds I want them to spin at. And just in case I did not go over it, the way I have each fan hooked up now is I have the rear fan and I have the top fan, and I have them Y-split into the system fan header. And now the fan that originally used to be in the rear, I have it double-sided taped to the front, and that is going to be Y-split into the front fan header with the bottom fan. So the bottom and the front are now in front fan, and the rear and the top are now in system fan. Because what was happening before, when it was plugged into LC pump, the fan was basically running at 100% all the time, and which is a little unnecessary. So now I have them plugged into system fan and front fan, and then I'd only recommending using LC pump if you are indeed planning on changing to a liquid cooler. So the side panel is back on, and I am sitting in front of my monitor like I normally would if I was using it. And taking a look at it right now, the front fan actually looks pretty good at the front there. I thought it was going to stick out like a sore thumb, but it actually does not look too bad double-sided tape right there. Originally, I wanted to try to fit it in the top hard drive cage, but I think right there it's going to be pushing a little bit more air, and a lot was going to get blocked if the fan was in the hard drive slot, unless I modify the case, which I definitely do not want to do right now. And for those that are curious, here is the best airflow that I have found now with my new 4-fan setup, and I'm going to throw it on the screen right now, as well as some temperatures I'm getting at idle and while in game. So my top and rear fan are now set up as exhausts, and my bottom and the front fan are now set up as intakes. So the bottom is blowing directly on the GPU, which keeps it a little cooler, and now the front one is blowing towards the CPU. And while in game, my temperatures didn't change too much from before, but they are staying very consistent. My CPU is at about 60 degrees Celsius while in game, and my GPU seems to stay around the same, so my temperatures are still looking very good. And then my idle ranges anywhere from 40 degrees to about 47. So it is right in a good zone, especially staying with the stock cooler. So I am very happy with where I'm at now. So thank you for watching, and I hope this video was informative. If you have any questions or concerns, please comment down below. If you liked the video, please give it a like rating, or if you disliked it, please let me know what I can do better in future videos. Well, I hope to see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys have a great day.